Hey, y'all, we got a school shooter in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm trying to get it pulled up right now. That's why I'm not doing my intro. So I wanted to go ahead and jump into this real. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to pull up everything I can on this real quick, and then we'll get into what I had scheduled. I don't even know what's going on, y'all. My husband just told me, and I saw that somebody else was talking about it as well. Let me say hey to you guys. I know it's at a Christian school. Hey, Bad Girl and Jenny Jen and Anders and Abellis and Gammy. Good morning, and thank you for being here. Sorry I was late. I had to get some stuff sent off from the post office. I got half of the things sent that I needed to send. 3 out of 6. Hey, Maligator. This is by you. Okay, I'm going to pull up what we have so far, and then we'll go to a live stream. I don't know why it's doing that.
We do have some breaking news to report right now. The Madison, Wisconsin Police Department is investigating a shooting at the Abundant Life Christian School. Sources tell our Aaron Katursky that the shooter is down and there are multiple injuries. This is, of course, an active and ongoing investigation. Our ABC affiliate in Madison is on its way to the scene. We, of course, will update you right here on ABC News Live. In other news,
Okay. Let me pull up what
This is an ABC News special report.
Good afternoon. I'm Whit Johnson in New York. We're coming on the air with breaking news of a school shooting in Madison, Wisconsin. There are
Okay, so this is 35 minutes. We'll watch this. Sally, thank you for being here. And Maligator, I know I highlighted your comment, but I didn't say hey to you.
Reports of multiple injuries at Abundant Life Christian School. First responders, you can see there racing to the scene, the school just a short time ago. Police say the shooter is down, and we've just confirmed through our...
It's multiple injuries. So, yeah, I would say it's a mass shooting. It's at a Christian school, so I'm wondering if it was somebody that went to the school or somebody that rolled up on the school. Maligator said 5 dead, 7 shot. 1 dead is shooter. They unalived themselves. Check 27 News Madison. Okay, hold on.
We do have some breaking news to report right now.
We'll go back to that ABC one. It should be in my history, and I'll pull it back up from my phone because it won't show my history here. Okay, you said News 27. Probably spelled that wrong. Was a student. Okay. I'm not seeing anything live. Okay, hold on. I got agenda-free TV, Fox 9. Oh my gosh. Stop it. Stop it right now. Stop it right now. Stop it right now. This channel too. All right, I'm about to just pull this one up for right now. Fox News 9 Minneapolis, looks like. Abundant Life Christian School is the school.
He cannot say if they were students, teachers, staff. He wasn't able to specify on that end.
Okay, I'm going to back it up a little bit so we can hear what she's saying. I'm going to start with this girl so we're not too far behind. It is Anders. Let me see if I can turn it up. It is heartbreaking. I don't understand why these babies going to school trying to just go to school are dying. Hey, Rooster. I didn't even know you were in here, Rooster. I didn't even see you. I hope you're feeling good. There you are. Hope you're doing good, honey. All right. She's about to start. I'm going to shut my door so y'all, there's no background noise because my husband's watching TV. She looks upset. I mean, I don't know who wouldn't be. Alligator said, I heard it was a 17-year-old girl, but just heard that. We don't know if it's true or not. I'm going to pull what I can on my phone while we do this. She should start any second. So I don't want to speed it up. I'm going to see what I can pull on my phone while I shut this door. Oh my gosh. I had to move my hoodie. I feel her pain right now. God. Okay. All right, now. By the time I go to speed it up, she'll start talking.
At this time, there hasn't been an update since the last couple of minutes that we've checked in, excuse me. But Madison Police Department did let us know in that news conference with Police Chief Sean Barnes, that 5 people lost their lives, including the juvenile suspect who is suspected to be the shooter. MPD believes that they were the shooter. They have not released any details about the shooter other than.
So I'm pulling up an article and it says 4 people were killed and 5 others have been hurt from a shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin. Police said the suspected shooter, a juvenile believed to be a student, is also deceased. So she is a student.
Then they are a juvenile, and 5 other people were injured in this incident, for a total of 10 people involved in the incident that we know of so far. Now, the active shooter threat came in just before 11 a.m. Police officers from around the county and the state were responding. They found multiple victims with gunshot wounds. Now, at this time, the school is still being cleared. They're searching the area around the school now, such as the cars surrounding the school, every inch of that property, just to make sure that everybody is out safely. Now, I'm going to step aside here. This is the reunification site for parents trying to get to their loved ones. You could see police officers are trying to keep everybody kind of on this side of the road of Buckeye Road. This is the closest that we can get at this time to that reunification center. Again, that is at SSM Health Dean Medical Group. This is
Lindsay. Thank you for being here. Yes. This is ABC or Abundant News, and I think somebody said it was a girl. This article just says the suspected shooter, a juvenile, is believed to be a student, is also dead. But I think people are saying that it is a girl, it's a female.
This is the information that we have at this time. Police Chief Sean Barnes says he is not able to share at this time the demographics of those who were injured. He cannot say if they were students, teachers, staff. He wasn't able to specify on that end.
Hey, Ramada. Hey, Ella Blue. Sally, I don't know. Oh, man. Lindsay, I didn't even think about that. Somebody else is talking and she's listening. I don't know when their Christmas break would have started, but it would have been soon. Oh, God.
Yeah, so they're saying 3 now? Okay.
Rubber, I know the feeling. I'm sorry, love. Maligator said, I heard a girl in chat. I was not sure, but heard 17. It's a 4 through 12 school. Grades 4 through 12. Anders,
yes, so Police Chief Sean Barnes with Madison Police Department did say that around 2:30 they would be giving another briefing at Fire Station 14 with any updates that they may have. Now, like you said, these details, it's fluid. It's an ongoing investigation. Details are coming in as we are hearing it. So we are trying to keep you all updated and informed in the best way that we can, as quickly as we can. So it sounds like that number has been moved back down to 3. That is the number that they went with earlier. Now we're trying to confirm if this does include the suspect. Mark, you may have said that it does. My I'm sorry, my IFB is in and out of my ear here, so you're coming in and out here. Now, officers from around the county responded to the scene just before 11 a.m. That's the county and the state. They found multiple victims with gunshot wounds. They believe that a juvenile is responsible for this. I'm going to step aside here. Again, this is the reunification site. First responders have moved this fire truck here. My guess is to provide some sort of privacy for the families who are involved in trying to be reunified with their loved ones. You could see that the closure down towards Stoughton Road, it looks like that squad cars are either blocking the road entirely or they're going to be moving out here soon. It looks like they're going to be blocking it off entirely. That is in a different position than where we were earlier today. Earlier today, we had, as we were on our way here, we were, there was also family members trying to get over here as well. We could see them in their cars, squad cars, first responders, everybody trying to get near this intersection of Buckeye Road and Stoughton Road. Again, this is the closest that we can get at this time to that reunification center. Do want to give privacy to those families at this time. Again, that is near the SSM Health Dean Medical Group. You could see that sheriff is now pulling out and away. They have not blocked off this area over here, only on the one side. So anybody coming from that area is going down this way towards Stoughton Road on Buckeye Road. That has not been blocked off quite yet. It looks like they're repositioning themselves over there, however. So we will keep you updated. Again, the next conference will be around 2:30 at Fire Station 14. Any details that they're able to share with us at that time, they will.
Okay, we're going to stay with them until we get the next news conference. I saw you saying some stuff. Paranormal said, I have been out of touch with media for a while, so I'm lost right now. This is breaking news and just happening. So we're all kind of lost. That girl said, I wonder if this has anything to do with Christianity because it's a Christian school and its students. I'm thinking there might be a correlation, unfortunately. Maligator said the break would have started tomorrow, which makes it even worse, as if it wasn't worse enough already. Channel 3 News is by, and so is 27 News Madison. Okay. Hey, Bear and Marshmallow. Oh, no, I can't believe this is happening so frequently. Actually, I can't believe it happens at all. I'm so scared for all of our children. I am too. I don't understand what's changed. Why we have so many children dying. And that's the thing with like the video games and media. I don't understand why it's different now than when it used to be. Like, is it because of video games? Is it because of the televisions being in every house and internet and all that, and we can process news so quickly that it just comes so quickly and people don't really take in the devastation of these news stories? Like, y'all can let me know what you think, but I don't know. Hey, Ella Blue said this is truly heartbreaking. It really is. Hey, Anna, thank you for being here. Paranormal, I understand that. Seeing what you guys are saying. I can't wrap my head around it at all either. I don't know, like, I don't think we need to take the guns away, but maybe put an age limit on it. But then, I mean, she obviously didn't go out and purchase it herself. I mean, maybe a good gun cabinet and keeping it locked up would have stopped this from happening. If you're going to have them in your home, which you should be doing anyway, if you're going to have them in your home. And I've often thought that, like, maybe if they went out and went hunting or something and shot a deer, and you understand that when you shoot that animal, it dies. Like, when you see that firsthand, maybe it would stop some of this, because maybe they would understand that it's not a video game. And when you pull that trigger, the person on the other end's not coming back from it. But I don't know. It's just insane. And right before Christmas, right, Maligator? Sally said, I believe several things factor into it. I do too.
Yeah. Yeah, that was emotional. That was an emotional moment. Seeing these parents, this is probably their worst nightmare just before the holidays, just before winter break. I know we had mentioned it earlier. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago that I was one of those students who was just amped for the holidays and winter break. And for something like this to happen, it's absolutely unimaginable. And I can't my condolences go out to all the families that are involved. I know that Police Chief Sean Barnes, one of the questions that was asked is if there were metal detectors in the school, and you could just hear the frustration in his voice. There shouldn't be. Students should be able to go to school and feel safe, and this is happening in our own community now. And like I had mentioned earlier, behind me is that reunification site. I believe that this fire truck here has been moved to provide some of those families some privacy at this time at the SSM Health Dean Medical Group. You could see officers are still surveying the area. It looks like they are starting to block off near Stoughton Road. This has been blocked off, but they're changing format a little bit over there, possibly to keep through traffic from coming through this way. There's no longer a line of cars. Earlier today, there was a line of cars trying to get closer to that SSM Health building. That line is no longer there. My guess is those were family members trying to get in touch with their loved ones and trying to reunite with their loved ones. Coming from the opposite side of Buckeye Road, it doesn't look like that is blocked off either, but heading, I believe it is east on Buckeye Road, it is still blocked off. They are still directing people as needed. They want people to avoid this area if they do not need to be here at this time. Again, the next briefing will be at 2:30 at Fire Station 14, where they will share more details with us as they come in. We have shared what we know so far, which is that several people have been killed. First, it was 3 people that MPD were telling us. The number got moved to 5. It is now being moved back down to 3. They killed the suspected shooter, who was a juvenile. They are not able to share any more details at this time in regards to them. They are also not able to share any details at this time in regards to the demographic of those who were either killed in this tragic incident or injured. They did say that 5 people were injured. Again, my IFB is coming in and out, so I don't know. Mark, you had mentioned the number 3. I don't know if that 5 injured has been changed, but that is what we were told during that 12:30 news conference. Again, more information is going to come in at 2:30 at Fire Station 14. That is the information that we have at this time.
Paranormal, school shooter. We think it's a female, went in and started shooting. The suspect is deceased. 5 children also unalive, and 5 injured. It could possibly be 3 that are unalive.
Okay.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it was a female. I haven't been able to verify that yet.
Evan, I need to put I don't have any gloves. I'm freezing out here.
She is a correspondent for the news station. Let me see what's going on now. They're just showing the school. Show me that forehead. Hold on. Okay. Let me see if anybody else is talking while we keep this up. Well, I didn't want it to go. Let's see what these people are saying.
We immediately alerted our mayor's office, and I've been on the phone with her in her office constantly. We also alerted Madison schools. We put the school.
That's a person's. Hold on, I'm going to try to pull the news conference. Let's see what they're saying here. She's got her hat on. I think that's the one we just looked at. The new one hasn't started yet. It starts in 10 minutes.
That is information that we do have at this time. Again, at 2:30, there's going to be another news conference with any additional information.
I'm going to back it up just a little bit.
Possibly going to the SSM Health Dean Medical Group to be reunified with their loved ones. You could see earlier today, there was a long line of people just waiting to be reunified. And that line has since cleared. First responders did an amazing job of getting people into this area, where they need to be and keeping people safe while doing so. That is the information that we do have at this time. Again, at 2:30, there's going to be another news conference with any additional information at Fire Station 14, and we are going to have those details readily available for everybody.
All right, I'm going to try to pull up the presser from earlier, and I'm going to keep this like where I can see it so that we know when the new one is coming. Okay, I'm looking for. Oh, no.
Dozens of first responder vehicles with
there.
Absolutely. So earlier today, when we had first arrived, there were sirens, there were dozens of squad cars, dozens of first responder vehicles with their lights on, telling people, hey, you need to avoid this area. They were redirecting traffic. Now, as you mentioned, things have quieted down a little bit. I also think that is because there is no longer the line of cars over here. There's no longer the hum of that cars. You could almost feel that anticipation that was coming out of those cars of people who were trying to get to that reunification site with their loved ones. Sorry, it's a little emotional out here. Like you had mentioned earlier, there were parents,
yes,
you could just see them running towards SSM Health Team Medical Group with the hopes that their loved ones were okay. So.
Okay. I got the news conference from earlier pulled up on a different tab so I can keep watching this one. All right. Let me speed this all the way up. All right. Hold on just a minute. I'll get this one pulled up for us. Oh, let me play this and make sure it's live so that I can watch it on the side while we watch the presser from earlier. And then as soon as they come up with the new presser, I will pause this other one and pull this one up. Reese is at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin. We know for a fact that 3 children are deceased, 3 people are deceased, 5 are injured. And that's all we know. Supposedly, it might be a female shooter. Maligator is there or from the area. And Sarah said she's about an hour away from it. All right, so this is going to be the presser from earlier. I'm watching the other stream that we were just watching to see when they start with the new one. That's going to happen in about 6 or 7 minutes.
I start and I say, thank you for coming and talk about how important the media is to our community. But the truth is, today is a sad, sad day, not only for Madison, but for our entire country.
Oh, don't do that. Okay, I'm going to be watching on my phone then because it won't play both at the same time.
Where yet another police chief is doing a press conference to speak about violence in our community, specifically in one of the places that's most sacred to me as someone who loves education and to someone who has children that are in schools. So I'm gonna tell you what I know. I'll answer any questions that I can. There'll be a secondary briefing that our PIO will let you know about, okay? Today, around 10:57 a.m., our officers were responding to a call of an active shooter at the Abundant Life Christian School here in Madison. When officers arrived, they found multiple victims suffering from gunshot wounds. We train on this almost quarterly. The last time we trained on this as commanders was approximately 2 weeks ago. The protocols are simple. Stop the killing, stop the dying, find out who's doing this. And the officers did that, and they did that adamantly. We had officers from around the county and around the state that came in support of this particular incident. Officers located a juvenile who they believe was responsible for this deceased in the building. Additionally, the officers began administering life-saving efforts to anyone who was wounded and making sure that those persons were transported. What we know is that a total of about 7 persons were transported from this scene to area hospitals for treatment. We know that at least 3 people have lost their lives, including a juvenile person. I don't have any other information about those persons who have lost their lives, and I'm not going to.
Okay, so that means that 2 people were adults that lost their lives, and then 1 was under the age of 18.
At least that.
And we think that's the shooter.
Until we have, of course, spoken with family members and ensuring that they are fully aware of this tragic scene that occurred today.
Oh, no.
I want to thank
not far from there
all
either.
of the law enforcement partners and community members that came out to help. Our friends at the ATF. I've gotten calls from my friends at the FBI, the State Patrol, the Sheriff's Office, Monona Police Department, our fire department. It goes on and on and on. Because this is something that we all prepare for, but we hope we never have to do. As you can see, we have a unification center that was immediately set up where parents and guardians and loved ones and grandparents wanted to get information about their loved ones, and we wanted to make sure that they were unified immediately. So we were doing more than one thing at one time. We're still going through methodically clearing that school, clearing every vehicle, and making certain that there's no other threats to this community, which we believe there are none. We immediately alerted our mayor's office, and I've been on the phone with her and her office constantly. We also alerted Madison schools. We put the schools on lockdown, but there's no threats to MMSD schools at this time. But we wanted to make sure that we did our due diligence in this particular case. Again, we're still going through collecting evidence, collecting information, making sure that our community is safe from what is a sad day for our community and for our country.
Hey, Cara, Reese, that's a good question. I homeschool my children, and not everybody has the ability to do that, but I'll be the first to tell you that we're a family of 6 living on one income. So it sucks, but I homeschool because of this stuff. It scares me to death. It's horrible, the things that are going on in this world today. I worry about that stuff. I mean, the one place you think your child's going to be safe, you know?
And we have to do a little bit better. I don't have all the answers that you want right now, but I will tell you this. We have some of the best officers in the entire country. Our detectives are amazing. We're going to go and work hard and go through this scene so that we can piece together what exactly happened. Again, there'll be another briefing in about 2 hours. And if I have additional information, I will certainly let you know what that information is. Again, around 10:57 a.m., officers responded to an active shooter. They responded per our protocol. They found the person who they believe was responsible, who was down, deceased. We know that it's juvenile. We know that there are other persons who have lost their lives. We know that we've transported about 7 people after giving them life-saving measures. It's important to notice, too, that about 3 miles from here is our training center. Today, our special event team medics were in training. And so they got to practice in real time. They left the training center immediately and came down here and doing in real time what they were actually practicing for. And that's why training is so important.
I was going to say, I don't think that's a positive thing.
And making sure that we can provide the best possible training and the best possible response for our community members. I'm asking everyone.
Alligator, I'm so
to
sorry.
send your heartfelt wishes and prayers and thoughts yet again to a community, but this time it's my community. Dylan?
Yeah, can we start over here with
Sure.
questions?
Chief, you mentioned you're a father. You're the police chief here in Madison. What emotions are you feeling right now after going through all that?
To be honest with you, I'm feeling a little dismayed now. So close to Christmas. Every child, every person in that building is a victim and will be a victim forever.
That's absolutely right. And now that's something they're going to have to deal with, trauma for the rest of their life. Cara said, my sister-in-law is a teacher at an elementary school, and we're thankful that in Florida they're allowed to conceal and carry. That would be another life-saving measure. If the teachers were allowed to conceal and carry, and maybe not have it out in front of the kids, but have it easily accessible in their desk. I mean, that would help. Abella says, this is awful. Kids shouldn't have to worry about this BS. Yeah, I can't. It's insane. And it's a Christian school too, so it's not even like you pay extra for them to go to these schools because of the safety measures and things. And to hear that it's at a Christian school on top of that makes it even more appalling.
These types of trauma don't just go away. And we need to figure out and try to piece together what exactly happened. And right now, my heart is heavy for my community. My heart is heavy for Madison, and we have to come together as a community and figure out what happened here and make sure that it doesn't happen in any other place.
The training center did probably help save lives because they were closer, and that is a good point of that, Maligator. Thank you for pointing that out.
That should be a refuge for students in our community.
Right there.
What sort of gun-related policies, if any, were in place at the school, and did the school have metal detectors?
I'm not aware that the school had metal detectors, nor should schools have metal detectors. It's a school, it's a safe space. So I don't know.
But it's not
Again,
safe.
It is a private Christian school. It is not under the authority of MMSDs, and that is something that we'll have to look into.
Chief of the seven
Oh
victims,
God.
how many are students? How many are teachers?
I'm not going to give any information about who the victims are, whether they're student, staff, or parents, because we need to make sure that we can notify people.
They're lining up for the press conference. I'm watching it on my phone to make sure we don't miss it. So I am keeping track of that.
I think that's the most important thing before we go any further.
But police they never fired their weapons.
That is correct.
Let's follow that one question.
I don't know if it's a male or female, but the police department did not fire their weapons. Thank you.
Scott.
Are the 3 fatalities you mentioned including the suspected shooter?
That's correct. Yes, sir. That's correct.
Are the 7 that was transported, are the 3 fatalities within that 7 or addition to that?
Yes, within that 7. Yes, thank you.
Was the shooter a student at the school?
We believe the shooter was a student at the school. Yes.
What can you tell us about the status of the other transports?
We know that they range from minor injuries to life-threatening. I know that's a huge, spectrum, but that's what we know now. And so we need everyone, again, to send your thoughts and your prayers out to them. One thing I do know is that we have some of the best medical care in the country here in Madison. And so we hope that everyone will recover, but at this time, we don't know.
So we did just get an update from our command post. 5 deceased at this time, 5 injured. So total 10.
You know what kind of gun was used?
Again, this is a ever evolving situation. Just hearing that, what does that make you think? How does that make you feel? That we have to do a better job in our community on a Monday, right? So close to Christmas, that we're updating victims.
I don't know.
And so there's a lot of work that has to be done, and we're committed to doing that work. We just ask for your patience. I think the most important part is the reunification, again, that we spoke about, making sure that those persons who were in the schools, whether they're staff, students, what have you, are reunified, and we have done that. Again, I want to say thank you to all our partners. Again, our friends are here from the ATF. They're going to help us. I heard the question about the gun. I don't know yet, which is why we have a great partnership with the ATF that will help us determine the origin of this gun and where it happened. So I'm gonna leave it at that, and we will have another press conference. Stephanie has the location.
We're doing 2:30 at Fire Station 14 in their community room. 2:30, Fire Station 14.
Steph, can you confirm the 5 who are dead? Does that include the shooter?
That doesn't include
It would.
Are the
Yes,
victims
it would.
students, teachers, a mix?
Yeah, again, we're not going to talk about that until we notify all the families that may be involved. Again, this is an ever evolving situation, and we're trying to figure it out. What did you say, man? The school has been through a secondary clearing. We're doing another one now with the help of bomb dogs, just in case. We want to clear vehicles and things of that nature. So we're going to take our time, and we're going to go through and we're going to do everything that we can. So thank you very much, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Fire Station 14 in the community room.
I'm thinking it's 10 minutes because I'm thinking 2:30 my time, but it's not. It's going to be in about an hour. Let me pull up the other news channel. And because it's saying 3:30 my time when I tried to look just now to see. So let me move this forward to live. She came on and said something a few minutes ago.
There is just one bus here at this time, and it's kind of pulled a little ways away.
I didn't mean to do that.
So far, that is the first one that I have seen. I haven't seen any others. So there is just one bus here at this time, and it's kind of pulled a little ways away again.
Yeah,
to
an
give
hour.
those families the privacy that they deserve at this time.
I don't know anything about the person involved except supposedly they're a female, and I know for a fact they were a juvenile and they attended the school. I don't know if they took their own life or if the police had to shoot them when they came in. I'm going to see what else I can pull on it right now. Everybody's just showing what she's showing right this second. Let me see what I can pull on Google. Okay, so what this news article from 20 minutes ago said 2 people are deceased and 6 others are hurt. So, okay, this article has more. I'm going to read it to you from my phone. I can pull it up. Actually, I can just pull it up. Let me turn this back on so y'all can listen to it, and I'll share this to myself and pull it up so y'all can read it with me.
When do they want us to head out?
I think it's a female shooter. And evidently someone said okay, so the policeman said that she took her own life if it is a female. The person took their own life. Thank you. I had to step away for a second, so I must have missed that part. Cops fired no bullets. Okay. Come on. I'm trying to pull up the article. Hello, computer. Good morning. Okay. All right. I'm going to keep this news conference pulled up and put it on mute while we look at this article. But I'm keeping that going live. So this article is from 20 minutes ago. If it will pull up. You found info and it's credible? Okay, you can say it. I don't mind. Okay, so it says Abundant Life Christian School shooting in Madison, 2 killed, 6 hurt. The suspected shooter, a juvenile believed to be a student, is also dead. That's the press conference we just watched. 2 people were killed and 6 others have been hurt during a shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin, police said. Police had briefly mentioned a higher death toll, but later revised the information. The suspect, a juvenile who used a handgun, is also dead, police said. The suspect is believed to be a student, police said. Victims' injuries range from minor to life-threatening, police said. Officers responded to the active shooter report around 10:57 a.m. No officers fired their weapons, Madison police said. And there's a picture of that. I never saw so many police cars in my life, just blue and red lights lining the school, lining the streets, fire department, paramedics, everyone was there, swarming the usually quiet neighborhood, John Diaz told ABC News Live. He said he saw officers with long guns at the scene and older students run from the school across the parking lot. Later on, very slowly, in a more orderly fashion, the younger students holding hands were let out to go across the parking lot, he said. Officials are working to reunite students with their parents. About 390 students from kindergarten through 12th grade attend the school. Jill Utterly, Wisconsin's superintendent of public instruction, stressed the need for change, saying in a statement, "This tragedy is a stark reminder that we must do more to protect our children and our educators to ensure such horrors never happen again. We will not rest until we find solutions that make our schools safe. The time for change is long past," Underly said. Excuse me. Let me see what you were saying. Hey, content. It's going to be 3:30 my time. Okay. 9 injured from the Facebook. I will see if I can get that to come up in just a second. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers wrote, "I am closely monitoring the incident at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison. We are praying for the kids, educators, and entire Abundant Life School community as we wait." Why are you not playing? "As we await more information and are grateful for the first responders who are working quickly to respond." Senator Tammy Baldwin tweeted, "I have been briefed on the active shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, and my heart goes out to all of those impacted. My office is in touch with local and state officials, and I stand ready to assist law enforcement and anyone affected." Senator Ron Johnson in Wisconsin wrote on social media, "My sincere condolences and prayers for all the victims of the tragedy at the Abundant Life Christian School. I will continue to closely monitor the situation. President Joe Biden has been briefed on the shooting, according to the White House." Okay, I'm going to pull this back up. She's talking again. I'll see what I can pull on Facebook real quick. Let me see what y'all are saying.
Way closer towards Stoughton Road, police are still blocking off Buckeye Road and redirecting traffic and redirecting people who are trying to go through this way.
Right, Reese.
I know, Mark, you had shared the address of this clinic, or excuse me, the D Medical Group earlier today. Police do want people to know to avoid the area unless you absolutely need to be over here. You can still see that they're redirecting. There's tons of agencies here that are responding. Chief Sean Barnes said that they are from across the state, across the county. People in the FBI were calling him, checking on his community. And he had mentioned, you could kind of hear the frustration in his tone as he was saying, this is our community now that we're talking about here. This is right in front of our faces here. This isn't in another community. This is the Madison community now. And you could hear the frustration, like I had said, in his voice. Somebody asked if the school had metal detectors. And again, he just said, this is a school. There shouldn't be metal detectors. We had mentioned earlier that as this information is coming in, it is fluid. It's an ongoing investigation. We do now know that the number has changed to 3 people are dead and 7 people are injured. Police did share that the juvenile suspect is dead at this time. The threat has been neutralized. MMSD schools also went on lockdown earlier today. There was no active threat to MMSD schools. Again, Abundant Christian Life School is a private school. However, MMSD schools went on lockdown just to be safe. There is no threat to those schools at this time. There still is not another bus coming our way. I'll pan a little bit. Let's take a look this way. You could kind of see right over here, first responders are still directing people on where to go. And you could see marked cars, unmarked cars, lights are still on. The sirens have died down a little bit. I know earlier today it was really loud. There was a long line, like I had said, of parents and family members just trying to get to their loved ones. I'm sure that there is a sigh of relief going on over near SSM Health for those who are being reunited with their family members. It doesn't look like from where I'm standing that the bus is still over there. The bus may have pulled out a little bit further away from us, but from where I'm standing, I no longer see the bus. I also mentioned earlier that there was a group of people standing in front of the Dean Medical Group that was like law enforcement, first responders, people who were clearly a part of police personnel waiting and standing with people. Earlier today, Mark, you had mentioned we saw this scene that keeps replaying in my head as well of parents that were just running to the reunification site with the hopes that their students are okay.
I'm looking on Facebook. I'm not seeing any updates or anything so far.
Yeah, that was that. Yes, that's another thing that's going to stick with us who are here at the staging site. I don't think that quick trip worker came in today expecting that her day at work was look like this. But I saw her come out with a cart full of water bottles, and her and another woman were kind of sprinting past us, getting this cart to the reunification site, getting these water bottles to people who are standing over there. And it's small things like that where I'm sure it made all the difference. And when she was coming back, you could kind of just see the emotion on her face. You could feel the emotion here as well between the media outlets. Emotions are running high, and you could see, I think I described it earlier, just the look of horror on her face. And like I said, I don't think she was anticipating that, but it goes to show when community needs to come together, they come together. So yeah, I think that the people who were there are probably going to appreciate that small act of kindness that really, in my opinion, makes a little bit of a difference.
Okay. Maligator has some information, but we haven't been able to verify it yet. Maligator says this could possibly have come from someone that goes there that is transgender person that used to be a boy. So maybe a mental health. Don't no one come at me. It's what I heard from a student. No, you're good. If it's possible, we can talk about it.
Evan, we're gonna change our camera battery. Can we pack up? Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah, there's no reason to go doing this. There's got to be some kind of.
Sounds great. Is Dade gonna meet us over there? Thank you.
All right, you're fine. Just mute, honey, if it bothers you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Do you know how to mute that person? Because
okay.
You can do that. Yeah, Maligator, you're fine. If you find out anything, please let me know because I'm trying to stay up to date on this. I had a feeling it was something to do with that, but I don't know. And I stated that it's not been verified. So I'm going to highlight it again. Oh, that's that one
We
person.
immediately-
Let me pull the news up, see if we've got any more news on this. I'm thinking we might just cover this today. Let me research this. This is Fox 9, so I know they're going to have the press conference.
We are expecting to hear once again from Chief Sean Barnes here, hopefully shortly in about 40 minutes before he briefed the media at around 12:15, 12:30 today, and told us that there would be another media briefing around 2:30. We do know that 3 people are dead. One of those people is the shooter. We don't know the other 2 victims. They're students, teachers, or what grade they are in, how old they are, boy or girl. We don't have any of
Reese, you got to calm down, okay? Please. Yeah, I'm sorry, Cara. I'm sorry to hear that. You just put the block button, and if it continues, I'll do something. I just try to be respectful and let people voice their opinions. But if it becomes too much, I'll block. It's okay. And you can block that person. And I'm so sorry to hear that happened to you. If it becomes too much, you can leave, but it's easier to just block the person that you that's making you upset. No, you don't have to go either. Just be nice. Just try to be nice. And you can block that person if they're upsetting you as well. Just make sure you're not attacking anybody and all that. Oh, Anna, I'm so sorry. That is so horrible. I am so sorry to hear that. I don't know what else to pull right now while we're waiting. I don't have anything. I'm not seeing any more updates. Maligator, is there a place where I can find what you said, or that was just you because you knew the person personally? Excuse me. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness, content. I'm so sorry to hear that, too. That's awful. Let me see if there's anything new I can pull up. I'm not pulling anything new, really, yet. Okay, well, either way, you guys can block, and we just all need to get along, okay? That's all I'm asking. Aw, Abellis, I'm so sorry to hear that. Jenny sending love everywhere to everybody. Yes, Sarah, thank you. This is a very sensitive and emotional topic, very controversial. We just need to remember to respect one another because we don't know personal tragedies others have experienced. Thank you for saying it that way. You're so eloquent with your words. Sometimes I am not. I'm going to try to keep this up as I look for more stuff. Well, maybe not. Because I want to keep it on a live channel.
He cannot say if they were students, teachers.
Let's see. No, I want it to be live right now. Oh my goodness. My computer is acting up. Stay right there. Okay. Oh, we're getting ready for the presser now.
Antsy hands here.
Okay. Maligator said, I know the person, her brother goes to the school. She told me it was a girl and 17 before the news. And then I heard this about the person being transgender. Okay. Me too, Cara. I had the same thought too. Oh, I'm so sorry. Labellas. Joy, I would hate to be in high school during this time period too. Like, we had
Figured that out.
when I was in school, Columbine happened. But like, I don't know. I never would have. I don't understand why children are feeling the need to pick up these guns and go use them to do these things. Like, I don't understand if they don't understand that when they pull that trigger, that's it, that's all, or if they feel that they don't care that that's going to be, the end of that person's life. Do they not understand they have a whole life to live ahead of them? I mean, I'll never understand this. Wrong is wrong and right is right nowadays. Absolutely. Kids are hurting, but is it more than when we were in school? Like, what makes it different? You know what I mean, Joy? Like, because I was gothic. I was like, I listened to Korn, I listened to Slipknot, all of that stuff, but I never would have even heard. Okay. Well, that's going to be the end of that. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Okay, yeah, I was gothic. I listened to Korn, I listened to Slipknot, all of that stuff, but I never would have heard a fly. Like, I don't understand. Right, Abellis? Yeah, I know. Cara, that's a good point. The schools don't really do anything about bullying, and even if they get in trouble in school, they can continue the bullying on social media. Right. Social media plays a big role in this, I think. Content said, I don't know, everyone's got a lower threshold for teasing these days. I don't have a lot of pictures, but maybe I can find some. I used to paint my fingernails with Sharpies and stuff. Joy said, because the internet, kids are really suffering. Right, and said, and welcome, Ange, or Anja, or Ange, says, we've all been teased and bullied in school, but we didn't do this. Right, so what is the difference now? Rubber said, in the 1980s, it was just self-deletion. We never hurt others. Right. Cara said, I was considered to be goth too, and they labeled me one of the trench coat mafia type kids. Yeah, I was called a freak.
Not sure.
Yes, Anna says, yes, more destructive behavior when I was growing up. Right. They range in age from 17 to 8. Oh, Joy, that's so sweet. I could definitely see that you protected the ones being bullied. You know how parents punish their children today, make them go outside. Can you imagine? Yeah. There's no cause and reaction. So if there's no reaction to what caused an issue, then they don't there's no understanding of there's going to be a reaction when you cause a certain thing to happen. Hey, Malia's mom.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, as long as you're respectful, it's okay. I try to let everybody talk here and offer their opinions, because I don't want to be an echo chamber by any means. But I do ask that you just be careful in that atmosphere. I understand what you're saying. The difference now is parents cater to their kids and address every little thing that makes them uncomfortable, says content. Yeah. Cara said, again, I hate to admit it, but DeSantis did something great by saying kids 15 and under cannot have social media, and kids 16 can have it supervised until they're 18. You know, that's a good idea, and I think that might help. Anja, thank you. Thank you for subscribing and becoming part of the Speculating family. Yeah, a lot of time, yeah, they sit on their couch on the cell phone, and we rode our bikes and played. Yeah, I was always riding my bike down in the creek, hanging out. I mean, I rode 3-4 miles out of town every day, on my bike. It's different, and that makes me question like video games and social media, because social media is definitely playing a role. Give me just a second. I gotta message my mods real quick in Discord. Oh yeah, thank you for coming to hang out. Doo doo doo. Okay. Gina Marie, thank you for being here. Gina Marie said, my cousin is married to a man who was a student in the library during the Columbine massacre. The PTSD still affects him to this day. Oh my God, I couldn't imagine. Oh, I keep him in my prayers. I could not imagine being there. That girl said, my mother would say, find something to do, or I'll find you something to do. We didn't sit in the house unless it was raining. Yep. I say that to my kids. You find something to do outside, or I'll find something for you to do. And if I have to find something for you to do, you're going to be vacuuming, sweeping, mopping, washing dishes. So they run out the door when I say that. Joy said, kids these days have so much more to worry about. They do. I'm just going to mute this because they're just setting up. They do with social media and all of that. Like, a lot of people's lives revolve around social media. And so they feel like, you know, if their reputation is ruined on social media, that's it, that's all. And they don't realize that they've got a whole life ahead of them to live. Again, going back to social media aspect of it. We weren't allowed to say I'm bored because she'd make us clean. I do the same thing. I do the same thing. When they say I'm bored, I'll say, I got something for you to do. They're like, nope. Run outside. Yeah. My kids play in the rain. Unless it's like really cold. Like if it's raining, I don't make them come in. When it stops raining, I'll change their clothes so they're not running around in wet. But in the summer and spring and stuff, they play in the rain all the time. I loved it, playing in the rain. It made me feel free. Cara said if we didn't go outside and play, we had to clean our room and yard work. Yep. Yeah. And, you know, we all have video games. We all, you know, kids have cell phone. They have social media. Like, you can't hold it back from them all the way. But I don't, like, there's got to be a correlation. Yeah, kids aren't kids anymore. Jenny says, love you all so much, fam. We do. We have so much love here for each other. Love you too, Jenny. That girl said kids aren't kids anymore, and they're not. They're, you know, my husband, I'm going to call my husband. Hold on. He was talking about something. It's like marshmallow brain, he said. We were talking about it the other day, where like the blue light from the phone and the TV and the computer they've programmed it to where it does some kind of like not mind control, but like, I'll get him to tell you because I'm gonna sound like a conspiracy theorist here in just a second. Let me call him in and get him to explain it real quick. He's coming. Hold on. I'm not muted. You remember you were talking to me about that marshmallow brain and the lights, how it messes with your brain? What were you saying?
The blue light that they use on computers.
The blue light they use on computers.
They do it at Google for like when they're going through training and stuff. They do certain things while they're basically programming them to obey the rules and all this stuff. I can send you a list of what it means through Grok, and it'll explain it better, and I can text it to you.
Okay.
And then you can just read it.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
There's a lot to it.
Do that. Thank you. Yeah. I'll grab it. Okay, so he's going to send me the information on that, but it's like, commercials, they would do certain things and still do to like emit a form of brainwashing to make you want to go out and immediately buy that product. It's the same kind of thing, but they do it now through like your computer screens and obviously your phones and through your tablets and things. I'll tell him you said hey. Kara said daily blue light exposure shortens lifespan and causes brain neurodegeneration and Drosophila. That sounds like what I'm talking about. More accurately. Oh, thank you, Joy. He's taken off every Monday until after Christmas, so he's off work right now. You thought the same about the blue lights? Yeah. Avella said mass shootings are mostly an American thing. In Canada, we've had something like 18 since 1884, 140 years. The U.S. has had hundreds this year alone. Yeah. So, okay, so taking that into consideration and the things that are growing, because you've got like social media and tablets and computers and stuff in Canada too. What would be the difference between America and Canada? Thank you all for being here. I'll unmute this now. If he sends me that stuff, I'll read it to us.
They paired it with me. Oh, they did? So we should be good.
I'm going to switch my thumbnail to just cover this today because we can do the other one tomorrow. And like I've already been on for an hour, so we'll just talk about this today.
So tell them we're connected and I'm like ready to go.
Okay, scheduled to start at 2:30.
I didn't know that there would be other press conferences, so I thought that it would just, kind of be this information and then we would go on to the next. But I think we need to keep this just about the school shooting because this is a sad, tragic day in our lives. And the news needs to be on, this stream needs to go out to this situation alone, I do believe. I feel like in my mind.
Hey, Fred. So I'm good. How are you? Yeah.
Oh, you do, Rubber. Rubber's going to start a channel and talk about the mental health aspects and things with true crime. I do believe you said you were. So y'all make sure you sub up to her so you can go watch her. That girl said access to guns. I'm wondering. Okay. Cara said better access to mental health recognition of mental health disorders and gun control. Bella said, I wear anti-blue light glasses when watching videos. I get them at the dollar store. Oh, wow. And also you have blue light suppression on all our devices. Look into settings. Okay, I'll definitely do that. When people take the Second Amendment seriously in the U.S., said content. I know Joy pointed out, look how easily the guy made a gun in New York, the one that shot the healthcare CEO. It was a ghost gun printed on a 3D printer.
Hey Sam, this is Ethan.
I'm going to turn this down just because they're setting up, so it's not really important, but that way we can hear it. Abellis does have all the tips. Thank you for that. Carr said we can still have the Second Amendment, but have stricter gun control. Anders said, I hope they don't publish the manifesto if there is one. They probably will. It'll be out, I'm sure. Abella says, content, yes, it's a crazy difference, even taking our smaller population into consideration. Hey, Stella B, thank you for being here. Stella B says, we need stricter gun laws, but certain political party keeps blocking all the bills. Do you think, I think there should be an age restriction to at least 21. Because, this was done with a handgun. It wasn't like an AR-15 or anything. Do you think that it just needs to be, the age needs to be up, like how old you have to be to buy a gun? Because they already do background checks and stuff. What are your thoughts on that? I would love to know.
Yeah, just let us know, no problem.
Trixie says, yeah, my little has double blue light protection on her glasses, as blue light can be harmful to her eye condition. That's a good preventative measure. New York has one of the strictest gun control policies in the U.S. Yeah, and that's why he printed it, and he was still able to print it. Seriously, you guys, since this was a Christian school, I thought it was yet another attack on evangelicals like we had in California just 10 days ago. He targeted a small Christian school, too. I hadn't heard about that one.
Thanks. Bye, Sam.
It could be. Evil people are going to be able to get guns no matter what the laws are. You are 100% right about that, Cara. I think we should take a mental eval, too, before buying a gun. I do, too. Stella said, definitely. However, kind of feel more parents need to take accountability. I agree. I got the text messages. I'm going to read them after this press conference.
Yeah, and then I sent you a link to Danny Jones' podcast that has Dr. Cruz on it.
Okay.
And he explains everything about the blue light and everything.
Okay, cool.
He goes over JFK and all kinds of stuff. He knows a lot of stuff.
Okay, cool. Thank you. We'll talk about the blue light stuff I was just talking about after the press conference. Mayla's mom said, the only problem with stricter gun laws is you will never get rid of the illegal guns. Yep, of all the illegal guns. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree, said Bad Girl. I screened that too earlier, Stella. Yep. You did. You've been saying stuff, Bad Girl. Absolutely. The Crumbleys are in prison, and Jennifer just asked for a new trial. Yep. That was, no, I'm thinking about the Grays with Colt Gray. We banned military-style weapons in Canada a few years ago. It does help. Ella says, guns don't kill people. Guns in the hands of the wrong people do. That is a matter of fact.
When they're done.
Stella said, however, if stricter gun laws pass, there will be less guns on the street. I don't know. There's a lot of illegal guns out there, and to point out, to be fair, on all sides, the healthcare CEO printed a ghost gun with a 3D printer. I do think that I'm more of a Second Amendment kind of person personally, but I do think that we need stricter mental health evaluations and that the age limit needs to be upped for guns. And I think that if you have a gun in your house, it has to be locked up at all times with trigger locks and all of that, and the keys be on you where your children can't reach it. Like, if we could make that a law and know people were doing that, I think it would definitely help. Because these kids shouldn't be accessing these guns when the parents don't know that they have them. They shouldn't be able to just walk in there and grab them and take them to the school, in my opinion. Content said Ethan Crumbly, their son, his parents were found guilty of giving him a gun. Okay. Joy said, I grew up around guns because my dad was a hunter. Yeah, I did too. I do too. I have too because I'm in the South, but I think I don't like that these children are accessing them without their parents' knowledge. I don't like that at all. It needs to be locked up. You need to have the keys on you. Your kid should not be able at any time to go in there and grab it. Trigger locks, locked up, whatever. Yes, they're stolen from responsible gun owners. That's why gun laws are important, but I don't think it'll keep them off the streets as much. I'm all. Cara said, I'm all for your right to bear arms. However, I also understand that we need to redefine our gun laws. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Mayla's mom said, I disagree with parents being charged with red rum in these situations. I would love to know, okay, so what do you think about, like what I was just saying, do you think they should be held accountable for the fact that their child was able to go in and access the gun without their knowledge? Because I do think that personally, I think they hold some responsibility in that. What are your thoughts about that, Mayla? Stella says, I'm not against people having a gun. I just think they are way too easy to get nowadays. I could see that. I think, like I said, I definitely think a mental health evaluation should be taken. And we do have, like, they do have to take a background check, but we need to check mental health too. Like maybe at least a couple of records from a therapist or psychiatrist for 3 to 6 months before purchasing, I think would be good. That girl said, I have a home full of guns, my husband and one for myself. They're locked in a gun case. Right. So your child could not go in and just grab it and go to the school and do something stupid. That's what I think needs to happen. Card said, I think it's dumb. You can go to a gun show and walk away with a gun as soon as you walk through the door. I didn't know that. I've never been to a gun show. Hi, Cringe. Thank you for being here. Guns can be literally 3D printed. Yes. The healthcare CEO, Luigi Mingioni, had what they refer to as ghost guns that can be printed on a 3D printer. Yep. Cringe says guns can literally be 3D printed. Gun control won't help. We need more access to defend ourselves. So what are your thoughts, Cringe, on the fact that do you think that that people should take a mental health evaluation before purchasing a gun and that the age should be up to 21? I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Hey, Shaboogies. That girl said parents should be charged if they allowed access to firearms and if they know their child is or was mentally ill or mentally suffering. I definitely agree with that. And then Mayla's mom said, I think there should be some accountability, yes, but having teens myself, I know they can get into things very easy. 30 years for the parents, in my opinion, is too much. Yeah, I don't think they should have 30 years. But I think it also could be stopped if you just kept it locked up and had to keep the keys on you all the time. Because, the kids stealing their parents' car doesn't happen as often as them stealing a gun, it seems. I mean, I don't know the statistics on it. But, I'm thinking, car keys and then keys to a gun cabinet. They're not – I don't know. I would think if you had the key on you or put up somewhere where, they couldn't access it and they didn't know where the key was, it would definitely help. But how do you know for a fact? That's what's going to happen in households. That parents aren't just going to say, oh, yeah, it was locked up and it really wasn't. Abella said, I find that some Americans don't know or don't care about the entire Second Amendment. They recite only part of it and leave the well-regulated militia part out. Dang, I didn't even remember that part. You know more about it than I do, and I'm sitting over here talking about I supported.
Know as well. We're streaming right now on our digital platforms at about 2:30 or whenever this press conference begins. We are going to bring in our Channel 9 audience as well to that news conference. So let's take another listen to the police chief in Madison, Wisconsin, Sean.
All right, I'm going to be quiet so we can hear this.
Usually this is where I start and I say thank you for coming and talk about how important the media is to our community. But the truth is today is a sad, sad day, not only for Madison, but for our entire country, where yet another police chief is doing a press conference to speak about violence in our community, specifically in one of the places that's most sacred to me as someone who loves education and to someone who has children that are in schools. So I'm gonna tell you what I know. I'll answer any questions that I can. There'll be a secondary briefing that our PIO will let you know about, okay? Today, around 10:57 a.m., our officers were responding to a call of an active shooter at the Abundant Life Christian School here in Madison. When officers arrived, they found multiple victims suffering from gunshot wounds. We train on this almost quarterly. The last time we trained on this as commanders was approximately 2 weeks ago. The protocols are simple. Stop the killing, stop the dying, find out who's doing this. And the officers did that, and they did that adamantly. We had officers from around the county and around the state that came in support of this particular incident. Officers located a juvenile who they believe was responsible for this deceased in the building. Additionally, the officers began administering life.
17-year-old, we think it's a girl, possibly transgender, that was a student at the school, Shaboogies. Hey, Zio, thank you for being here.
Saving efforts to anyone who was wounded and making sure that those persons were transported. What we know is that a total of about 7 persons were transported from the scene to area hospitals for treatment. We know that at least 3 people have lost their lives, including a juvenile person. I don't have any other information about those persons who have lost their lives, and I'm not going to release that until we have, of course, spoken with family members and ensuring that they are fully aware of this tragic scene that occurred today.
Absolutely.
I want to thank all of the law enforcement partners and community members that came out to help. Our friends at the ATF. I've gotten calls from my friends at the FBI, the State Patrol, the Sheriff's Office, Monona Police Department, our fire department. It goes on and on and on. Because this is something that we all prepare for, but we hope we never have to do. As you can see, we have a unification center that was immediately set up where parents and guardians and loved ones and grandparents wanted to get information about their loved ones, and we wanted to make sure that they were unified immediately. So we were doing more than one thing at one time. We're still going through methodically clearing that school, clearing every vehicle, and making certain that there's no other threats to this community, which we believe there are none. We immediately alerted our mayor's office, and I've been on the phone with her in her office constantly. We also alerted Madison schools. We put the schools on lockdown, but there's no threats to MMSD schools at this time. But we wanted to make sure that we did our due diligence in this particular case. Again, we're still going through collecting evidence, collecting information, making sure that our community is safe from what is a sad day for our community and for our country. And we have to do a little bit better. I don't have all the answers that you want right now, but I will tell you this. We have some of the best officers in the entire country. Our detectives are amazing. We're going to go and work hard and go through this scene so that we can piece together what exactly happened. Again, there'll be another briefing in about 2 hours. And if I have additional information, I will certainly let you know what that information is. Again, around 10:57 a.m., officers responded to an active shooter. They responded per our protocol. They found the person who they believe was responsible, who was down, deceased. We know that it's juvenile. We know that there are other persons who have lost their lives. We know that we've transported about 7 people after giving them life-saving measures. It's important to notice, too, that about 3 miles from here is our training center. Today, our special event team medics were in training. And so they got to practice in real time. They left the training center immediately and came down here and doing in real time what they were actually practicing for. And that's why training is so important and making sure that we can provide the best possible training and the best possible response for our community members. I'm asking everyone to send your heartfelt wishes and prayers and thoughts yet again to a community, but this time it's my community. Dylan?
Yeah, who can we start over here with questions?
Chief, you mentioned you're a father, you're the police chief here in Madison. What emotions are you feeling right now after going through all that?
To be honest with you, I'm feeling a little dismayed now. So close to Christmas. Every child, every person in that building is a victim and will be a victim forever.
Yeah.
These types of trauma don't just go away. And we need to figure out and try to piece together what exactly happened. And right now, my heart is heavy for my community. My heart is heavy for Madison, and we have to come together as a community and figure out what happened here and make sure that it doesn't happen in any other place that should be a refuge for students in our community.
Right there.
What sort of gun-related policies, if any, were in place at the school, and did the school have metal detectors?
I'm not aware that the school had metal detectors, nor should schools have metal detectors. It's a school, it's a safe space. So I don't know. Again, it is a private Christian school. It is not under the authority of MMSDs, and that is something that we'll have to look into.
Chief of the
Oh yeah,
of the
thank
vic-
you for
the
being
7
here. It
victims,
is important.
How many are students? How many are teachers?
We're not going to give.
tell us?
I'm not going to give any information about who the victims are, whether they're student, staff, or parents, because we need to make sure that we can notify people. I think that's the most important thing before we go any further.
But police didn't. They never fired their weapons.
That is
Took their own life,
correct.
correct.
Let's follow
I
that one.
don't know if it's a male or a female, but the police department did not fire their weapons. Thank you.
Scott.
Are the 3 fatalities you mentioned, including the suspected shooter?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
3 total.
That's correct.
Kara said, like, if you want to give your kid a gun as a present, cool, but keep it locked up in the gun safe where they can't figure out the combo or use fingerprint locks. Exactly. And I wasn't even aware of fingerprint locks until Kara just said so. Like, if you just had a fingerprint lock on each one of your guns, then they couldn't access it without your knowledge. So why are we not making it absolutely mandatory to have those on your gun? If you're going to have it, every single one that you're going to have in your house has to have a fingerprint lock on it. So that therefore the child cannot just go get the gun out of the cabinet, even if they got the keys, and then take it and use it for something like this. Like, then I could see holding the parents accountable, which I don't disagree with holding the parents accountable now. 30 years is a lot, but it does set an example of, hey, this is what's going to happen. You need to be paying attention to your children, their mental health, know what they're doing, all of those things. Cringe said, we even keep the air pistol and BB gun locked up in our house. You're actually doing better than me because we have both of those and they're not locked up. But, my kids don't go grab them and try to shoot each other with the BB gun or air pistols either. So I don't know. I've not had a reason to. All the other ones are locked up in my house at all times in like a gun safe, and a trigger lock is on them. Toxic said, I am so sad this happened again. I'm tired of kids killing kids. We have failed the last 2 generations of children. Yep. And the correlation between video games, screen time, all of that. Do you think that there's a correlation between video games, the screens, the phones, the tablets, the news, and things like that? Cara said, I just looked for a handgun at Home Depot. A biometric lock is $80. Oh, okay. So Cara looked up the biometric fingerprint locks and they're $80 per gun. See, that's a great idea. Like, maybe they could give them away for free. Like, when you buy a gun, it's included in the price or something. That way, they already have everything they need to go with it. Hey, Pinto, thank you for being here. Shabugi said, I do not at all. It's mental health. Okay. I was looking to what you were saying to Indie Girl. Toxic said, no, the issue is parents aren't being parents. Parents leave it to everyone else. It's true. I agree with that, and I can definitely see that. And that goes back to, both parents having to work now instead of back in the day. It used to be the mother stayed home with the children, and there was more of a nuclear type family. So I wonder if that has anything to do with it, because technically, if you have a nuclear type family and you don't have to have 2 incomes, which, now you practically do, then the parents would be at home and the children wouldn't be gone so much. Cringe, I have not done my research on locks. I just know like the trigger lock with the keys because that's what we use. Cringe says, please do your research on locks. The biometric ones don't work well when you sweat. Stress equals sweat. You don't want it to fail when you need it most. That's a good point. I'm just trying to figure out a way that like you could be sure that the gun is locked up and put up, even if your child was to get the key. Like I would hope that you would keep the key put up, but if somehow the child was to get the key, if you had a biometric lock, you would know for a fact they couldn't take it. But, you know, going back to the when you need the gun the most, you're going to be stressing and sweating. And how long is that fingerprint lock going to take to get off? You know, like you said, the sweat is going to make it not work well. It's not easy to hold your finger still on a thumbprint lock if you're shaking and, you know, because there's an intruder in your house. So I can see it from all aspects for sure. Abella says, here is the Second Amendment looked up. I looked it up exactly. And it says, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. But, and it's good to point out, it states,
So just raise your hands. We're going to answer questions. So, yes.
a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state.
It's supposed to be here any second. So it's going to be Police Chief Barnes, and then Fire Chief Carvin, and then Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway, and then County Executive Melissa Agard. And then we'll take questions after that. All right. See you then.
Toxic said, knows nothing of guns. Canada has a very strict, rigorous laws for guns. Yeah, and it seems that there's less shootings happening up there, so you have to look at the other countries and say, what are they doing that we're doing wrong? You know what I mean? As far as when things like this happen. Cringe said, I agree they should be locked. Just wanted to let people know and chat to be careful when buying locks like that. Oh, yeah, for sure. And I appreciate you saying that. It's a double-edged sword because, you know, yeah, of course you want it to be locked up and for the love of God, at least have a lock with a key. But, you know, you're not going to be able to stop it. I mean, I think it would drop the rate significantly, but you can't stop it at all times. Mine have, like I said, the key lock, but which is good. But I mean, again, even with a key lock, you're fumbling with the key and shaking and your adrenaline's pumping if somebody's breaking into your house. It's going to be harder to get that off. The thumbprint lock, though, would keep it where even if the kids got the keys, they couldn't unlock it and use it. But I don't know. It's a double-edged sword for sure. Shabugi said militia just means civilians. So, quote, well-regulated can be interpreted in many ways. Other countries don't have this issue. They have better gun control. That's pretty much it. Okay. So then the answer would be better gun control. I'd have to look up like what the differences are in each country as opposed to ours. Toxic said there's also a different mindset here in Canada. I think definitely the mindset and the mental health aspect of it plays a significant role in all of this. Oh, okay. I'm about to read y'all stuff. I was trying to fix my thumbnail and make everything to say what we're talking about right now. Okay. Shaboogies says, other countries have better gun control and their citizens aren't overly medicated by the time they're teenagers. That's a good point, to be fair. But I mean, again, trying to look at it from all aspects, some of the kids are under medicated. If they had been on the right medication, maybe this wouldn't happen. Some better things to control their mental health. Abella said, my understanding, I could be wrong, was that the U.S. military was smaller then, so they needed people to be armed in case of attacks by England. Again, I could be wrong. No, you're right. I mean, that played a part in it, but they made it the Constitution so that no matter what, people would always be able to bear arms, basically so the government couldn't take over and just, overpower us like they did in England. Like it wouldn't end up being like a king and queen situation and all of the people are subservient to those roles. Because if they take guns away completely, then we're no longer a free country. The government's going to come in and basically we would be at the mercy of the government to do whatever it is they said or wanted us to do, because we'd have no way to basically fight back against the government. And I know that played a big role in it as well. Toxic said, no mindset. Guns are for hunting. We don't use them for whatever. Yep. And if kids were taught that, and I said before, I think that every child should go out and hunt and kill a deer, that you save and eat. But that way they would understand that it's not like a video game. And when you pull that trigger, whatever's on the other end of it is going to be dead. Would that help? I said that, and then Colt Gray came out and it was stated that he had just went deer hunting and got his first deer. So I don't know. Boogie said, oh yeah, back when the Second Amendment was written, they were working with muskets, not bump stocks. You're accurate about that. All right, here we go. Good question, Shaboogies. Says, here's my issue. Why do so many people care more about having weapons built for human casualties than they are about protecting children? It's a good point.
This is the part where, again, I would normally start by saying good afternoon and thanking you for being here. But under these circumstances, I'll just give you a minute to start your live streams or do whatever you need to do. And while you're doing that, my name is Chief Sean Barnes, SHONBARNES. I'm currently the Chief of Police for the Madison Police Department. I'll be providing a brief update of the school shooting that we had today in Madison. There is some information that we're not going to release because it's still an ever-evolving situation. You'll hear from some of our representatives from our city and from our county. And behind me are a lot of people who came together today to make sure that the day ended well and that everyone else was safe. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and start my remarks. Today truly is a sad day for Madison and for our country. It is a day that I believe will live in our collective minds for a very, very long time. Here are the details. Today at 10:57 a.m., our team was called to the Abundant Life Christian School in reference to an active shooter. We know that 3 people are dead, including the suspect shooter. We know that the suspect shooter was a teenage student who attended the school. At this time, we're not releasing the age or gender of the student or any other identifying remarks about the student. 2 other people have died. That died were a teacher and a teenage student. 6 other people were injured. 2 students are now in critical condition in the hospital, and these injuries are considered life-threatening injuries. 4 students are also at other area hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. But these are just the physical injuries that we know about. We know that this was the middle of the day of a school day, and so there will be other injuries that we'll have to face for a very, very long time. And we're going to do everything we can as a community to heal those injuries as well. Many of you have asked me about the why of this. Why did this happen? What do we know? What was the motivation? I do not know. But I will tell you this, our detectives are working hard in the investigative process to find out as many answers as we can so that we can further prevent these things from happening, not only in this community, but in other communities around our country. I think we can all agree that enough is enough. And we have to come together to do everything we can to support our students, to prevent press conferences like these from happening again and again and again. The school building itself is clear. We have cleared the school. There's no other threats or danger to the community. We're in the process now of what we call reunification. And what that simply means is making sure that every student that was in the school is present and accounted for and returned to their loved ones. This usually takes a while, but we have practiced, unfortunately, and practice, and that's why we're able to reunify students with their parents within hours of a school shooting. The reunification is taking place at the Dean Clinic on Stoughton Road, and I certainly thank them for their help. Again, we need our public to find an alternate route. If that is your normal way home as we get closer to the end of the day, please be patient or find another route home. We're currently processing the scene. We're interviewing those who may have been witnesses, and we're obtaining search warrants to get additional information. And lastly, I want to just say thank you to everyone who's standing behind me, the organizations and agencies that they represent, the men and women of the Madison Police Department and Dane County Sheriff's Office who selflessly ran into a building not knowing what they were going to encounter. Many of you know this about me, but I started my professional career, if you will, as a public school teacher back in 1997. And I taught public school for 4 years. It was one of the greatest joys of my life before becoming a police officer. And I can tell you what a special place our schools are. With that being said, we owe it to our community to do everything possible to ensure that it's not only a special place, but a safe place as well. And we're going to continue to do that. So we ask for your patience as information is coming in. We will do the best that we can to bring you accurate and timely information, but we want to make sure that our public knows that we're working extremely hard on this particular incident. There are a lot of people involved, and certainly we're going to come together as a community. I'd like to bring up at this time Police Fire Chief Chris Carvin.
Thank you, Chief Barnes. Before I start, the only thing I can say is this is not a place that any fire chief or any one of us would ever want to be. And I can't believe I'm standing here today talking about this incident. The fire department is a part of this community, much like all the folks standing up here with me today. Our hearts are with and our arms are around everybody impacted today and everybody within our community. With that, I won't repeat the details shared by Chief Barnes, but I will share with you the fire department activity for today. Much like Chief Barnes mentioned, at 10:57, we were also dispatched with Engine 5 and Medic 5 to the same location. Throughout the course of the incident, we responded with 5 engine companies, 4 ladder companies, 15 ambulances. I would like to take a moment and share our gratitude for our county partners throughout a multitude of EMS and fire agencies that joined us in the response today. We also had 11 off-duty chief officers that came in on this response. So it was a tremendous response from the fire department. We transported 4 patients to St. Mary's. We transported 3 patients to the University of Wisconsin hospitals. On the arrival of our crews, I can say my gratitude to our membership for what they did and their selfless actions today. It's hard for me to place into words what they ran into as well. They did that immediately. They did that selflessly. And within a course of 15 minutes from the first transport to the last transport, all the patients were on their way to the hospital. So to our membership within the Madison Fire Department and within all the emergency services, my gratitude, my recognition of the work that goes into this, the training that went into this, that again, we had hoped we would never have to put into practice. One more time on behalf of the Madison Fire Department, our hearts are with you, our arms are around you, and we will be with you throughout the duration of this. So at this point, I'll step aside, turn it over to the mayor.
The KMFDM shirt.
Hold on a minute, y'all. I've got a picture of who might be the possible shooter, so I'm going to pull that up real quick. I'm going to let y'all listen to this while I get it together.
This is an incredibly sad day for our community. As you've heard, there is no danger to the community at this time, but our entire community has been impacted by this tragic incident. On behalf of the Common Council and the City of Madison staff, I want to offer our heartfelt condolences to the victims and families and to the whole Abundant Life community. Our focus now is on supporting them and supporting the victims and their families. And we will continue to do that through the coming days and weeks. I also want to thank our first responders, the police, fire, the medical staff, for their quick action and their life-saving efforts. As you've heard already, this is a whole of government response. It is not just police and fire. It is not just City of Madison. We have folks from all around the county. We have folks from multiple agencies engaged in both the initial immediate response and the ongoing support, and will be engaged for days and weeks to come. I also want to thank the White House and the governor and others in the federal government and state government for reaching out to offer their support and help. We will be drawing on resources as needed going forward. But the most important thing right now is to make sure that we are centering the victims and their families, and that we are doing whatever we can to support them and to help them heal, and to lift our entire community up through this difficult incident. I am on record that I think we need to do better in our country, in our community, to prevent gun violence.
Me too.
And I hoped that this day would never come in Madison.
All right, Zio,
if
you're here, I need
any mayor, any fire chief.
I'm going to pause this. I'm going to show y'all who it's being said is the shooter. If Zio's here, pull what you can on her for me. I'm going to show y'all two things. I don't know that this is the person. This is who's being said is the person. My husband shared a post with me that said she is a biological female and she is non-binary, is what is being said. I'm going to draw attention to this shirt right here. This shirt says MDFMK. I don't know if that's backwards or what, but that shirt has a significant meaning. And let me show you what the meaning of that shirt is. So Nick Adams here said that KMFDM shirt shows she was inspired by the Columbine shooters. So strange to see a female perpetrator. And then this goes on by so evidently the shirt has some kind of relation to Columbine. And again, this is the perpetrator. She's non-binary and she is biologically female. It's a brand that says Shaboogies. Okay, yeah. See, I don't know that this is accurate. I'm just showing you what is being shown to me. I don't know what her name is either. I'll send you what I have. I'll post it in the Discord. Let me pull this back up so we can continue with the presser. I'll send you what I have, Toxic, on Discord.
Police chief, any person in public office ever wants to have to deal with. And so I will ask our entire community and our entire country to do whatever we can to make sure that no public official ever has to stand in this position again. And now I'll invite the county executive to the podium.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, our community is reeling from the heartbreaking and senseless tragedies at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison. As a mom who received a text from her son at a high school here in the city of Madison wondering if he was safe, I can tell you, this hits you in the gut. Our community is better than this. Our country is better than this. Cannot continue. My heart goes out to the victims and their families and the students and the educators, and the list goes on
I don't
and
know
on.
her name. Samantha.
Every one of us is affected by this unimaginable and unacceptable violence.
Samantha Rupnow. Allegedly, her name is Samantha Rupnow. I will put that on my thumbnail or whatever. So I'll write that in the Discord as well.
That has hit our community today. Dane County stands united in grief with the Abundant Life Christian School community. The Sheriff's Department, the Department of Emergency Management, Department of Human Services have all been on the front lines. My phone has been ringing from people across our state and our nation asking what it is that they can do to help our community.
Thank you for being here, Miss King of Anything. I appreciate it.
And right now, it is our time to be committed to supporting this school, these students, and these families, and our first responders who went into that building during this devastating time. We must work closely with our law enforcement officers and first responders, mental health professionals, community leaders, and policymakers to ensure that we are taking care of one another. No community should ever have to endure such a tragedy. And my administration is going to do everything that it can to provide assistance to those who have experienced this devastating loss, and also do everything that we can to prevent such tragedy from occurring. To all of those who are grieving in our community, please know that you're not alone. Dane County stands with you. We're here to support you in any way possible. Please reach out and ask for help. The governor's office, as well as the mayor's office, and I will continue to update the public as we learn more. But please understand, there are many things that we cannot share with you right now. This is an active investigation. This is an active case. The SSM Health Clinic near the intersection of Buckeye Road and Stoughton Road is the reunification center. I know that that has been out, but we need to make sure that folks know where it is that they can go to be reunited with their children. Again, in the coming days, we are going to make sure that we are supporting those that have been most impacted by this. But folks, reach out, ask for help. This does not need to be the reality of our community. Thank you.
All right, let's start over here with questions. Just raise your hands.
How did this unfold? Give us a bit of a timeline, how you officers got into the building.
Sure. We received the call at approximately 10:57 a.m. Someone from the school called 911 to report that there was an active shooter. That means something different to us. Obviously, there's different protocols that go out, tone alerts even, so that even if officers are busy doing other things, they respond. One of the things that I do want to note is that our training center is about 3 miles from there. We have a special event team medics, those that work with the fire department, responded to this particular scene from their training day. So what began as a training day became an actual day. And so that's how this call originally came in.
Nicholas, did you have a question?
What can you tell us, if anything, more about the shooter and what their motivations were, or if you made contact with their family members? Anything updated on that?
Sure. There's nothing new that I can tell you about the shooter at this time. Again, as difficult as today is, that's still someone's child that's gone. That's still someone that has to deal with what happened today. And so we want to make sure that we can ensure as much cooperation as we can. You asked me about why, as I stated before, I don't know why. And I felt like if we did know why, we could stop these things from happening. But what I will tell you is, as soon as we are done with the investigation, any information that we uncover that will not compromise the safety of anyone involved or compromise the confidentiality of any of these children that are involved, we'll tell you. I just ask for your patience.
All right, over that side. Go ahead.
What kind of gun was used today?
We know it was a handgun. We know a handgun was recovered.
I've got information. I've got an article that tells us about the shooter. If you guys want me to read that, I'm going to read it. I was going to pause this thing to read it to you. There's two brands. One that Columbine dudes like was KMFDM. There's another brand, MDFMK. Yes, thank you, Ella. I'm going to play this. I can pull up that article. Do y'all want to know about the shooter?
All right, sit down right there. Was the shooting confined to one classroom or did it spread out?
We know it was confined to one space. I do not know if it was a classroom or a hallway.
Thank you.
One of the things that we've gotten very good at,
you are so
certainly
sweet.
different from in my day, is that if you do not need to be in a crime scene, you do not need to go to a crime scene. And so the crime scene and those persons who are involved, they have that crime scene locked down. I did not go or enter into that crime scene. But if you can imagine, most schools, the students go together, but they are segregated. So on each different floor, in each different group. And so there's no evidence that anyone else was injured that was not in that age group. I cannot speak to how the school staff responded. We did have injuries, but it could have always, of course, had additional injuries. I do not know what the school's protocols are. Again, this is a private Christian school. I know that we have a very good rapport with MMSD, Madison Metropolitan Schools, public schools. So we have done trainings for them before, but I would assume that most of the teachers have the same or some similar type of training as a part of their certification.
Oh, that's the article I have pulled up that you sent me, Toxic. Thank you.
I do not know how many students attend the school, but their website says that they serve about 200 families.
Right in the back, white. What kind of support system are they made available to people who are affected?
That's a good question. As you heard from our mayor and our county exec, we have services within our government that will be made available to them. I have a lot of confidence that they're going to follow through on that, and we'll make sure that persons who need to.
Thank you,
speak to that?
So, Dane County Human Services, as well as the Red Cross and other consolidated agencies, are already on scene. And we will.
Miss King of anything. The shooter was a juvenile. She was attending the Christian school, and from what is being told, she used a handgun. She shot herself. She was non-binary or trans. I'm going to read the article in just a second that Toxic got for me on it.
We'll continue to be on scene, and those resources will be bolstered. Again, please reach out.
I'm so sorry,
You are not
Jimmy.
alone. We are going to navigate this together, and there are people who are affected by this trauma who are not in the reunification center or at the school. We need folks to be reaching out because we do have resources available.
Did you know if Abundant Christian Life School, did they have a school resource officer?
It's not my knowledge that they had a school resource officer. That if they did, it would be a police officer, and I know where they all are, and they're not in the schools right now.
15 in the back there.
So in terms of witnesses that you mentioned, investigation, what is that looking like? How many
Sure.
witnesses are involved?
Sure. So the detectives will talk to anyone who may have seen this particular event unfold, anyone that may have been unfortunate to hear something.
Abellis, yes, thank you for correcting me. Abellis said non-binary, not trans. I'm hearing that she's non-binary, and then I'm also hearing that she's trans. She was a biological female. I don't know if she trans and went more as a male or not, but I've heard trans and I've heard non-binary. If I had to assume, I'd say non-binary because she is biologically female and she appears female, but I'm not positive on that. Thank you for the correction.
They will be talking to them. It's my understanding that that's in process now, and everyone is cooperating fully. That will give us an idea.
Oh no, you're
of
good, love.
Not only what unfolded, but it could answer the question to motivation, because again, the students who unfortunately had to witness this. But that's not something that we want to rush. We're not going to interrogate students. We're going to give them an opportunity to come in and speak to what they may have saw when they feel ready, which is why some of these questions can't be answered right now.
All right, Speculating.
How do you reassure the community that it's still okay to go back to school? I mean, everybody's got kids, and I think maybe it happened at this school, but there's everybody that's got kids anywhere like this in town. It's gonna be hard.
Yeah, I think you're asking me, how can I say 100% that no child will ever be harmed in school? I can't. No police chief can. But all I can tell you is that we have systems in place so that if something happens, we can respond like we did today.
I can tell you that our mayor and our county exec has committed resources to not only public health, but also mental health. I can tell you that every teacher that I've ever had contact with at MMSD cares deeply about their students. Every staff member, I talk to staff members all the time who tell me things that are going on in the schools and want to do whatever they can, even if it's under anonymity, to let me know that they want to have a safe school. So my reassurance to the public is that if you see something, say something. If you know someone who may be going through a difficult time, please reach out to someone. And I think what I can do is make sure that our police department is transparent and open and honest and inviting for people to call and give information. I think MMSD does an excellent job of that. And the same thing can be said for any other private school. If you want to give information or you need someone to talk to, I can promise you we'll have someone there to get that information.
All right, understanding that this is a private school you may not be as familiar with, what can you tell us about some of the physical measures that are in place at this school, whether it's metal detectors, entryway, cameras, et cetera?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've never been in this school, unfortunately. I'm not aware that there were metal detectors in the school. That's something that we can certainly look at. Most schools have some form of surveillance or public space cameras, but that will be, of course, part of the investigation process.
Yeah. Chief, can you clarify? You said 7 were injured, but 6 were hospitalized. Does that mean one's been treated at least? And secondly, is the shooter's family cooperating with the investigation?
Yeah, so it's 2 questions, but let me try to handle the first one. So I'm trying to go back to my notes. So we do know that 1 person was pronounced at the scene. And so that may be the 7th person, but we can get you all that information. Just when we're done, I'll have my PIO give that to you so you can report it accurately. And what was your second question?
Is the shooter's family cooperating?
At this time, yes.
Right.
So you have been in contact with the shooter's family?
We have.
And what were the steps taken through that?
It's through the investigative process. Okay. Yeah.
Is the shooter's home being searched? We've heard information about that ongoing.
Yes, obviously, once we have identified, we have initiated a search, but we think that search is either ongoing now or that search may be concluded. Of course, it's about safety. That's the first thing, making sure that people are safe, and then we'll go from there. This has been, this has been an amazing day for everyone. And so if you have someone who is deceased, who may have been a shooter, you want to make sure that their family is okay. You don't know. And so that is what we're doing right now. It is about the safety of everyone. This is going to be a long day for the Madison Police Department. We just want some of your patience.
When you were, had the school had any prior threats, and then just jumping off of that, do you know if the shooter had any prior contact with law enforcement?
We do not know that the shooter had any prior contact with law enforcement, but I did do a check of the school. There were some calls, but they were like 911 hangups, things of that nature. There was nothing that suggested that the school was a place that violence would occur.
Chief, I know that you mentioned that the shooter died of self-inflicted burn. Did that happen before officers arrived at the school, or when the shooter saw officers coming into the school?
Yeah, so let me say that the cause and manner in which the shooter died will be determined by the inmate. But what I can tell you,
I hope my mic wasn't muted that whole time. I was saying I was going to pull up. If y'all couldn't hear me, I don't know if I was muted, but I was saying hey to Tiffany, and I was reading Indie Girl's comment, and oh no, you're fine. Thank you, Jenny, for letting me know. I read Indie Girl's comment, and I was saying I was gonna show you what was on X real quick before it got deleted. So that's what we're doing real quick, and then I'll go back to the press conference. So this post is from the Patriots Prayer Network and says the shooter's name is Samantha Rupnow. Check the Twitter account Postbrained. I don't know who that is. I will check it in a minute. Her Discord is apparently, quote, brained out. This is disturbing. The trans thing is obvious from the comments. Her friends are supporting her in the comments on her page. I'm so sorry this happened. I hope this never happens again, but unless we address the mental illness, it may. So there's this video. It says, "Hey man, I don't have a lot of time." I'm assuming this was on her page. "Hey man, I don't have a lot of time, so I'll get right down to it. I'm going to be dead in the next hour or two max." I don't think that was at the school. God, I hope not. And then there's this picture where they're doing that signal where you hold your hands. There's that video. Maybe that's her at a gun range. And then that's that picture I showed you guys. Let me see what y'all are saying. Yes, this is a high school. It's the Abundant Life Christian School. Thank you for being here, Tiffany. Hey Darlene, it's good to see you. Darlene said mental illness doesn't get treated anymore. It gets celebrated. Very sad. It could, yeah, it might be. A lot of times I know like if you look at that symbol, the circle symbol, that means that somebody gets to punch you or something. Like they'll try to trick you to look at it. That one, they'll try to trick you to look at it, and then if you look at it, they get to punch you. But I don't know if that's what it is. It could be a white supremacist hand signal. I'm not sure. Just because you feel one way doesn't mean you won't feel different 5 years down the road. Everything is so PC and serious nowadays. It is. It is. They were very young kids. All right, so let's see what else is being said real quick. I'll check that Twitter account. I don't think I have a Twitter, so it might not let me. This one says they were egging her on, WTF. And this is posted by Chris Tillian. It says, to everyone who is saying, live stream it, do this, do that, or anything, go fuck yourself. Genuinely, Samantha was one of the nicest, most beautiful people in the world. She was pretty in every way. But no, people like you just had to ruin her life and make her feel hated. I don't know that I can. That's all there is on that post. Cynthia Roth says this country will not address mental illness. It will take away another victim class, most of which we vote. Okay, well, we're not gonna. Okay. The trans thing is very obvious from the comments. The comments, all of her friends referring to her as her and stating she was not trans. I don't think she was trans. I think she was non-binary. All right, let me go up to the top and see if we can pull her Twitter. I mean, her ex. I don't know that it's going to let me see this. Oh, okay. Well, I guess this is it. It says, God forbid they know I'm human. They joined December 2024. There's a church burning in the background. I wonder what church that is. Tiffany said, the person in that pic is so beautiful but looks very sad. Yeah, she did. Darlene said, I'm confused. What happened? What does her sexual orientation have to do with anything? They're saying that she's non-binary or trans. A lot of people are stating that, are saying that because unfortunately there's been an uptick in people who are trans committing school shootings. So I think that's the relevance of that. She went to a Christian school. And that's all I know. I've seen that picture she posted. I don't know what this is. It's loading a different screen, so I'm going to check that in just a second. Hustle hard and smell good. So I'm thinking this is her page. What on earth? So there's a person shooting. Trigger warning. Okay. Sorry about that. This was December 7th. So this is not a video of what happened at the school. Thank God. Because I was worried for a second. Because it was posted December 7th. I wonder what the comments are saying. Let's see. Oh, no. I don't know how to use X. There's 35 retweets. Y'all, I don't know how to look at what the comments say. I don't know what the hand signal means. Just planting alarms here. I hope not. Oh, red flags. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. The one near Nashville at a religious school was a trans person. Yes. Tiffany said, well, I guess young is subjective. It becomes different with time. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So that post was from December 7th. And that looks like that's it. That one video, this video right here is questionable to me because there's fluid on the floor. Like, is that fake? Y'all, trigger warning. He's shooting, and then it cuts, and he's laying on the floor, and there's fluid coming out. And somebody writes something down and walks away. I mean, I'm assuming it was like a scenario or something. Because to be sure, it wasn't that. I don't understand how to see the comments, y'all. I'm new to this whole Twitter thing. Let me click this and see if it'll pull it up that way. Oh, okay. So here's the comment. Somebody called the person a FAG. I'm here to delete. Somebody's sad and looking at their phone. This person said, I'm a sad and lonely FAGGOT. You're a fucking piece of shit is what you are. Back to what they wrote. I'm a sad and lonely FAGGOT. Here's some embarrassing information about me. Please don't bully me with it. Fucking asshole. Somebody wrote, shoot that guy. I've transcribed the manifesto, chapter 1, act, the end. No way this is actually the shooter. Yeah, to be fair, I don't know that this is the person. This is just what's being said. Yeah, I'm thinking it was a skit of some sort. Yeah, I don't know how to use X either. I'm sorry. Toxic said, could it be from Columbine tapes? I know they like making violent videos. It's possible. That's a good question, Toxic. Yeah, it's something, Tiffany. So yeah, over here on the side is where we're seeing the comments. Unfollowed due to inactivity. Hold on to me. Oh my gosh. Y'all. I did it again. Oh, did they block me out of it? Oh, now I can see him over here. Okay, some was deleted. But we were at this comment. Say the line, FBI. He was on our radar. And the class cheers. Someone said posting your manifesto and forgetting to set the share access to, quote, anyone with a link is an L. Okay, that goes back to the Google Doc and the Google Drive that they mentioned. You can't access it because it told me access was denied. This right here, documents.google.com/file. When you click on that, it'll tell you access is denied. So I'm guessing that's what they're referring to. Don't open the link, by the way, unless you want to dox yourself. Well, hopefully I didn't do that. Get that thing off the road, bruh. Bloke forgot to unlock the Google Doc before getting turned into worm food. Okay. Wow. Fuck trannies. Womp womp. Manifesto, no unlock. Somebody wrote FAG, I'm here to delete. Then here's that disgusting post. What you did was wrong on every level. Point of view, you, it's hot in here. Hey, listen here. It's not too late to change, girl. I can save you. Ha 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 ha. DMs. You feel me? Wow. This is disgusting. All right. I'm going to get out of that because this is just horrendous. All right. So that's what I found on Twitter so far. I'm going to pull up this article to read to you guys about it. Yeah, I'm questioning. Bad Girl said so. They want to be accepted but hate others because of their race. I don't know. So that's what I pulled on her so far. This is the article that Toxic Orchid sent me. If you guys want to check her out, you can do so at As the Gavel Drops Discord. And okay, I was waiting for my thing to load. There we go. So if you guys want to check her out, her Discord is at the Gavel, As the Gavel Drops Discord, and it is I will drop it in the description box below. Emmett, thank you for being here. Emmett, this is disorganized because I'm just kind of going through and pulling everything I can for the moment on what I can find. So it's really disorganized. I'm fairly new to this. I don't have my crap in order. Madison Christian School shooter ID'd as trans student according to X. All of this is allegedly. I don't know that it's 100% fact. I'm just showing you what I have. Let me put my banner up. Actually, let me put this one up real quick. And we'll get back to the article. Samantha Rupnow, thought to be using at Postbrain on X, is ID'd as a Christian school shooter at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin. Shooter described as trans student, according to X user Christillian with the X handle served head. Unconfirmed social media postings have identified the suspected juvenile shooter at Madison, Wisconsin school as that of a transgender individual. The gunman, identified as Samantha Rupnow, is on X, is alleged to have been the suspected shooter at Abundant Life Christian School, a K-12 facility in the state's capital. In revised numbers, a total of 3, including the juvenile gunman who took her own life, were killed in Monday's school shooting. Madison police revised their numbers downward from an initial 5 to 3 Monday afternoon. Oh, here's a post that we didn't see. Christillian said, made her feel so isolated. Made her do this. You're all horrible people, every single one of you. If you ignored people picking on her, it's your fault. If you weren't nice to her, it's your fault. Oh, and especially her fucking father. Look that piece of shit up. Or better yet, death penalty. Fuck him. Fuck everyone. Why are you people like this? I loved her. I loved her so, so much. She was the perfect human being. I put all my effort into being with her. Everything I could. I did everything to prevent this, but no. That was Christillian on X. So somebody that treasured her very much. According to the student gunman being that of Sam Rupnow, an account going by the name of Christillian with the X handle severed head posted in remembrance of Samantha Rupnow, who was driven to suicide by the worst people this world has to offer. In a preceding post by Christillian, who appeared to be in a relationship with the student shooter, the following was posted. To everyone who is saying live stream it, do this, do that, or anything, go F yourself. Genuinely, Samantha was one of the nicest, most beautiful people in the world. She was perfect in every way. But no, people like you just had to ruin her life and make her feel hated. And in another post, quote, make her feel isolated, make her do this. You're all horrible people, every single one of you. If you ignored people picking on her, it's your fault. If you weren't nice to her, it's your fault. Oh, and especially her fucking father. Lock that piece of shit up. Read another, or better yet, death penalty. Fuck him, fuck everyone. Why are you people like this? I loved her. I loved her so, so much. She was the perfect human being. I put all my effort into being with her. Everything I could. I did everything to this, but no. And another, this is it. I might kill myself soon or go to a mental hospital to lock myself up, so I won't do that. You people took my future, the love of my life, my wife. You took everything from me. I hate you all. T-Jark out. The identity of the student shooter has yet to be released, with one social media posting below alluding to the unclear gender of the student shooter. LMFAO, okay, it confirms Samantha Rupnow was the shooter based on the tweets from the one account freaking out about it. And this person said, WTF, police in Wisconsin are unable to determine if the Christian school shooter is male or female. Why? Why does it? I mean, I don't think it's, I understand why they're asking, but the relevance, it's not that important. Back to the article. An account going by the name of Postbrained also appeared to be sharing the same image of an individual in a toilet cubicle as also shared by Christillian. And that's the end of that. Hold on a minute. My computer's being slow. Okay, let me see what y'all are saying while I pull this press conference up real quick. And we'll continue listening to the press conference from earlier. Who's the he they're referring to? I don't know. I don't know. And then Shabugi said, I'm sorry, but no good, sweet, angelic person would do this. This person wants attention and is sick too, said Shabugi's. It might be somebody that really loved her girlfriend or something. Trigger warning. Thank you. Bad Girl said murder is murder. Social media is vile. It is. Wonder what her dad's about this person is saying that about him. I don't know what her dad did to make that person say those things. I'm wondering that myself. I think because of the non-binary thing. Yeah, I think so too. And then last one I'll read before we get back to the conference says, my concern is the medications this person was on. Yeah. Some of those medications aren't good for you.
Tell you is the shooter was dead upon our arrival, police department arrival, and no officers fired their weapons. Okay.
What are these search warrants you're executing? Are they at residence on like the device the shooter has?
I'm sorry.
The extent of the search warrant.
Yeah, so the extent of the search warrant is to be able to go in a place that we don't have permission to be in and make sure that everyone is okay. And then if there's any evidence that we think we need to collect, we could only do that with the use of a search warrant. And so again, we have to determine if there is evidence that we will need. Everyone wants to know what led up to this. Are there any additional threats to public safety? Is this person or was this person by themselves? There are a lot of questions that we want to answer, but we have to answer the safety questions first, and then we'll move on to some of the more investigatory questions.
Are you in possession of any of the shooter's devices?
I am not, no.
I'm wondering about metal detectors. You mentioned in the first meeting that you were not a fan, and this school probably doesn't have them, and other schools that do you think that's something we should start talking about, metal detectors in schools?
I guess the question is, would you want your child to go to a school with or without metal detectors?
I can't answer that.
I can't.
Right now is
Yeah,
without.
yeah, absolutely. So the idea is to create the safest environment that we can without metal detectors. That is my answer.
Chief, this was a shooting at a Christian school right before the Christmas holiday. Can you address the impact of that? And is the Christmas holiday at all, in your belief, related to as motivation for the shooting?
Yeah. So to the question of motivation.
Yeah, content says, you guys, the shooter posted a manifesto but couldn't figure out how to share the Google document correctly, so his ex account has serious trolling over it. Did you see that tweet? Yes, I did. I tried to pull the Google document up because I didn't know it was the manifesto at the time, but I tried to pull it up and it said you've been denied access to it. So evidently it's locked down. But yeah, I'm thinking that it was the manifesto. If you click on it, it'll say access is denied. Now, maybe the FBI already has it and has blocked that, but I don't know.
We don't know why, but to the question of so close to Christmas, we have a lot of people going to be impacted. If it's a Christian school, then obviously our holidays, our Christian holidays are very important to the students, very important. It's a time for family.
Hey,
Students
hobby
probably
farmer.
get ready to go out on break. And now the break will be a little less about celebrating Christmas and more about celebrating perhaps friends and loved ones and staff members who perhaps lost their life. That's why I'm asking everyone to, of course, keep Abundant Life Christian School in your thoughts and in your prayers, and we'll get a couple more. Okay.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay, real quick, Phoebe.
So it's a private school that takes public money through the voucher system. So what has this revealed about maybe gaps in security or training for staff? Is that the thing I'm thinking about whether schools that are private that take public money need to be, kind of on par with public schools when it comes to safety?
Well, what I'm telling you is that in 1997, I began my professional career as a public school teacher. I taught history for 4 years before becoming a police officer. So I did not get far enough to take courses in administration and budgeting of schools. I don't know what governs private schools, if they receive money, where that comes from. That would probably be a question that you would probably need to ask someone who's more intimately involved in the school system and what their requirements are if they do receive that. But you could probably compare what has happened or what goes on, their security measures, with the security measures of any school in MMSD, and then that may give you your answer. That's a very
Just one very quick follow-up. Because there has been some criticism to other law departments that response to these school shootings is particularly involving. How did that inform your game plan today, and how quickly were your officers able to get into the school? What were they told to do?
Sure. We train on this, as I spoke about earlier. When officers arrive on the scene, they immediately go in, which we did in this case. Stop the threat, stop the killing, find the killer. That's how we train. And that's exactly what we did today. There's no waiting. There's no coordination of who's in charge. Everyone knows exactly what to do. I spoke about this earlier. We train on this constantly. Our commanders, including the fire chief and I, was in a commander's training less than 2 weeks ago, going over this exact same scenario for another fictional location. And so all of that came into play today, and our officers performed extremely well based on their training and based on the expectations that they know exactly what to do. Stop the threat, stop the killing, find the threat.
Thank you all. I think the questions have been asked, and we're straying a little far from what's most important at this point in time, and that is the victims and their families. I have 3 things to add. First of all,
absolutely, please always remember the victims and their families in all of this, and say a prayer for them or send some good vibes their way. While I've got this paused, if Basil will let me, I wanted to read y'all. Hobby Farmer said, I'm not defending what happened. I'm just expecting my knowledge of a private Christian school, and she's saying that there would have been extreme pressure on this person if they were a student, because they were non-binary or trans in a Christian school, like in that environment. It does make it worse. And, that is an important thing to point out. And then on top of that, struggling with mental problems, on top of having to follow the ideals of a religious school culture. Right. And a lot of Christians aren't as accepting of that kind of thing as other people are. So it is an important fact to point out. Abella said no one ever brought up the sexualities of Sarah Boone, Wade Wilson, etc. They only do it for the LGBTQ community. It gets people going. Yeah. I think people bring it up because some people think that there's a correlation between school shooters and the children trying to be trans. Now, if there is a correlation, I would relate it to medication. I would want to know what medication they're all on and see if some type of puberty blocker or antidepressant or something like that, that they were all taking would be my first thought, if we were going to go down that avenue. But there's been just as many that were not, of the LGBTQIA community. So, it's kind of a double-edged sword again. Joyce said, I went to a private Christian school also for my whole experience in the school system. Oh, you're good, Maligator. Maligator said, my daughter's best friend went to her Lutheran school with her, and she was gay, and he was a cappella in a show choir, and they accepted him fine. Okay. Well, thank you for that information. Maligator knows people in the area. Thank you for saying that. So I heard it was a biological female. So is it a biological male? I didn't see the Twitter, but I don't have a Twitter account. I saw the X. I pulled that up just a minute ago. I pulled up what I could. People worry too much about people's sexual preferences. They do. Absolutely. Abella said, same, we had a teacher who was lesbian and they fired her. This was the earlier 70s. She gave us a wonderful speech before she left that the nuns would have had a fit over if they heard it. Oh, wow. I'm sorry she was fired for that. All right, I'll continue playing this.
There is a lot that our community can and will do in the coming days to support the victims and their families. And we will have more information at future briefings. If anyone, and I would urge you all to include this in your stories, if anyone needs mental health support as a result of this incident and the coverage of it, I encourage them to reach out to 988 by phone or text and to get the mental health support that they need.
Please reach out if you need some mental health after this. Please reach out to that, and I'll drop the number in my description box after this live. Shaboogies points out non-binary is not the same as trans. Yes, I know. I had heard that they were non-binary, and then I'd also heard they were trans, is why I was using the two in, correlating with each other. I didn't know if this person was trans or non-binary. But thank you for the correction.
It is incredibly important that we take care of our community in this very difficult time. We all have a role in preventing gun violence. Our entire community needs to be part of the solution here. There are many things that we can do, and we can have those conversations in coming days. But first and foremost, what needs to be the priority for all of us is supporting our young people. And that is where our community's attention needs to turn at this point in time. The police department, the fire department, the city, the county will share additional information about the investigation as it becomes available. But I urge you all to help our community find resources to support their mental health and to find resources to support the victims and families at this time. Thank you all.
It'll be at cityofnancy.com. Me, Stephanie, and Cindy will stick around and answer any other questions, but that's all.
Let me say just before I go, because the mayor mentioned that this was a whole of government response. It certainly was, and there's so many people that we want to thank. We cannot thank everyone, but it's also a whole of law enforcement response. Even though we are in different agencies, we all have the same training. And so I want to thank our partners with the FBI who are here with me today, partners with the ATF, Dane County Emergency Management. Of course, we already talked about our fire department. We've got calls from the Attorney General of the United States, Wisconsin State Patrol, our governor's office, State Patrol, Monona, as well as our sheriff's office. I know I may have left someone out, but thank you for how you responded professionally, quickly, and according to the way that we all trained, and it all came together to ensure that no other persons were hurt. Thank you.
Can you just say what time you guys get entries? We just want to yell that.
10:57.
But that's not
Oh, it is already in 1 minute?
We'll work on getting that. So our next.
How long did it take to arrive to receive these raised captains?
Okay.
Yeah, so I will work on getting that information for our next media briefing. We plan to meet here at 5:30 tonight, and I will work on getting that information. Do you know how many first ones?
Okay, so they're going to be meeting. I don't know if it will be a press conference tonight at 5:30. I did pull something up that somebody is sharing. Again, I don't know that this is valid, but I'll show it to you real quick before I go for the day. I don't know. I mean, I'm just searching and showing you guys what I find. Jenny said, if you're struggling, please seek help and support. Know you are deeply valued and loved. Yes, if anybody needs to reach out to, please call a number. If you're feeling some type of way, you can always email me if you're just upset or sad and need somebody to talk to. Esoteric Shagism said, Wisconsin shooter Samantha Rupnow was a Satanist Baptist who almost exclusively followed accounts that Captive Dreamer 7 follows or were Captive Dreamer reply guys. So we'll see what this says. That's their X account that we just looked at, and I'll pull it up again. So it's showing the people that they followed, which I don't think I'm gonna X out of that because I don't want to dox any children. This is something. I don't know what that is. I guess an account that they followed. They followed this American Zionist. I thought that might be a picture. So that's the picture that we have already. I don't know that that's accurate or not. I don't want to post my reply. Okay, this is the one that's supposed to be hers. And it says, God forbid they know I'm human. Again, we'll scroll through it. They have that sign, which some people are saying is some kind of white supremacist sign. I don't know that that's what that is. The trolls have hit the accounts. I went through the comments earlier. I'm not going to do that again because it's mainly trolls. I wasn't able to pull up that one. No, Hobby Farmer, you're good. You're fine. You haven't done anything, honey. She said, hustle hard and smell good to somebody. We saw that video. That's weird. I don't want to play that again. She wrote, hey, man, I don't have a lot of time to get right down to it. I'll be dead in the next hour or two. And then there's this video. I'm assuming that's Columbine. Let me read to it. I don't have a lot of time, so I'll get right down to it. I'm going to be dead in the next hour or two max. And then that might be Columbine, but I don't know. People are dropping their YouTube channels. I don't know why you would do that, but more power to y'all. These are the pictures that we saw. We just saw the one in the bathroom. There's apparently that one where I think that's her shooting. And then that one that I have on the thumbnail, and that's her in a bathroom. Yeah. Thank you, Maligator. Again, I don't want to dox out any children. Oh my gosh. I was just trying to pause it. I think people are just sharing basically those 4 videos. Let's see. The alleged shooter at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin is Samantha Rupnow. This is disturbing. I found a partial manifesto, and apparently one of her friends on social media is saying she's going to unalive herself. Someone should check on Severed Head. Yeah, that Severed Head account. I don't think this is a manifesto. It's probably just a post. But it says, women are the only hope for this wretched world, but even women have been brainwashed by moeds for too long. They've internalized the patriarchy and turned on each other, always begging for male approval and validation. It's disgusting. I realize the truth. Men are irredeemable. Radfem, that word, Mein Kampf, is effing vindicated now. They can't be reformed or redeemed. They're effing scourge upon the earth. The only solution is to total exterminate them. And every foid who worships these effing parasites, every single male must be wiped out, from babies to the elderly. Only then can women be free to create a new world. I'll be a pioneer. I'll be the first to take the first step. I don't care if they're fathers, brothers, husbands, sons, teachers, police, and especially, or politicians. I've been craving to unalive them all. This is my mission. Only when their parasitic sludge has been expunged from the earth is when then the world will be clean and women can start over. It's the only way. In approximately 10 minutes, I should be dead. It's strange, but it feels good. And then this is that one we read from Christillian. This is it. I might unalive myself or go to a mental hospital to lock myself up, so I won't do that. You people took my future, the love of my life, my wife. You took everything from me. I hate you all. So, oh, that's that picture again. That's that. It says, what we know so far about the shooter is they're a feminist. They went to the school. They're a fan of true crime, and they're a Columbine fan. I wanted to see what this was. Is that a picture from Columbine? She was a biological woman. This is the Discord account. So evidently that's the Discord account. I am about done with this. That manifesto got me feeling some kind of way. I don't know that it was, but it says Samantha Rupnow does not appear to be a real person. If, quote, she is, then perhaps that is not her original name, or perhaps this is all pathetic clout chasing of some sort. Stand back and stand by. So I don't know. Let me see what y'all are saying. Oh, I'm a little sick, but I'm okay. All right, Anna. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm about to go as well. Christillian can get arrested. If it's real, I think she needs to calm down a little bit. It says an ex-user severed head is lamenting the death of the shooter in Wisconsin. She identifies the shooter as named Samantha Rupnow, as is in a relationship with her. She then goes on to say she is going to unalive herself and that everyone is at fault for this happening. Let's see. That's the one we already read. What is this? Somebody wrote, Sam, was this you? Yeah, so that's about all I have. Nitro says that's part of the manifesto. I don't know. I'm probably going to I hope I don't get in trouble. So I'm going to go. Hobby Farmer said that the internet says that hand signal is now a sign of hate. Yes. We're going to, give everybody a group hug and please keep the victims in our prayers. I'm going to end this with the video of the missing kids. I'm not going to play our song today because I just can't, knowing everything that's going on. I don't think it's the proper time to play the song, unfortunately, but I promise I'll play it tomorrow. I will leave information in the description box below about where you can go to seek help. I want to ask you all to please keep the families in your prayers, and the victims, all of the families, everybody in the area, just everybody. Just say a prayer for everybody. And with that, I'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll do what we were going to do today, tomorrow. Thank you for being here, everybody. If you wouldn't mind, please hit the thumbs up so we get out into the algorithm. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Have the best day ever. Bye.